listening to The Mouth.
Every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.
Hello and welcome to The Mouth. I'm your host, May Angelini.
I'm Charlie Lee.
And I'm Mahek Rashid.
Today we are going to be taking you through some of the local news and of course the weather and what's on. We hope you enjoy the show.
The headlines today.
People are worried that Falmouth High Street is disappearing. We look into the shops that are shutting and the impact that this has on locals.
So the residents who, worry the high street is declining, I'd say it's changing.
He's not really swum for 30 years, but Falmouth's mayor is now swimming the equivalent of the English Channel in a mission to get funds for a new local pool.
There's a few people out in the world that got a lot of money, rightly or wrongly. And if we can get a little bit of their money all add together, it may get us over the line to get the money required to do the pool.
AI should be banned at university. A new petition by students who say they want to save jobs in the future.
There needs to be a lot of boundaries around AI, especially within the creative industries, because it's definitely a threat to our careers.
I think there's a time and a place for it, but people need to be educated in the right way.
You're listening to The Mouth.
What is a high street all about these days? Can locals enjoy shopping when most of the things they are getting are online? Here in Falmouth, there have been a significant change to the makeup of our high street, Tia Bodie reports.
Falmouth is well known for its independent shops and beautiful seaside high street. But in recent years, it's seen several familiar shops disappear, from Wilko and Poundland to most recently Anne's Cottage. Now, with Falmouth's much-loved Trago Mills under review, questions about the future direction of the high street are louder than ever. Falmouth's Business Improvement District Manager, Karen Cooksey, says the closures are part of several pressures hitting businesses.
Businesses are dealing with higher energy bills, staffing pressures, and national issues like the cost of living crisis. And all of this, of course, inevitably affects trading and then ultimately also store closures.
When asked about the recent closures online, many locals were quick to point out that expensive parking, a continuous increase in online shopping stemming from the pandemic, and high energy bills, business rates, and national insurance were problems too, which Karen also pointed out.
But I do genuinely think that we're in a stronger position than many towns. And Falmouth has a really, really strong independent offer. And with that comes a lot of resilience. And I do feel personally that we are going to weather this storm and come back fighting.
Maya runs a creative event space and shop called Maya's on Killigrew Street that's been open for nearly a year.
It's so sad to see so many businesses closing. It does make me feel anxious. Like, if they can't do it, why do I think that I could do it? And what if all these people can't succeed? Then why could I succeed? Why do I think that I'm different?
Despite these worries, Maya is determined to keep pushing forward as long as she's not losing money. But it seems to be that continuing to shop locally might just be what will help the high street.
If you just slowly transition to putting the effort in to support your local businesses, it means so much. Like, when you spend £50 on Amazon, it is just a drop in the bucket for Jeff Bezos, and he does not care. But the customers that come into my shop, I know them. I know most of them by name. I recognize their faces. I recognize people who came in on my opening day like a year ago. Like, you mean so much to me, and that money goes from you to me, and it supports me and my life and my business directly, which I then use to support other small businesses. It's just so important to keep that money local and spend it where it means something. It's a time where we don't have a lot of control over what's going on, over the way life is going, but you can vote with your money. That is how you take control of the situation.
So what is the Business Improvement District doing behind the scenes, and what should locals do?
But, you might have seen one of our campaigns, Falmouth After 5, which is all about encouraging people to come into town to enjoy our hospitality scene and our nightlife. So the residents who, worry the high street is declining, I'd say it's changing, but there's a huge amount of activity happening behind the scenes, and many local businesses are surviving and thriving. And to the residents, I'd say your support really, really makes a difference. And together we can shape a high street that reflects what Falmouth needs for the future.
This is an incredible story of a person who's swimming for his life. The Mayor of Falmouth, Alan Jewell, has not really swum since he was young.
He really wants Falmouth to get a new public swimming pool, so he has decided to take on the challenge of swimming the equivalent of the English Channel at Carnbury Leisure Centre. May Angelini reports.
Over the past month, Falmouth Mayor Alan Jewell has been swimming the length of the English Channel at Carnbury Leisure Centre.
So I started on the 9th of October. I think I've been going about 20 times. I got up to one stage doing 2,000 metres each session.
The English Channel is no easy feat, but Alan is fighting to get a new swimming pool opened in Falmouth after Ships and Castles closed in 2022.
Now the width of the channel at its narrowest point is 33,700 metres. I've got 7,750 metres to go.
He has also been travelling over 800 miles to complete this swim, to spread awareness around just how hard it is for locals to get to their local leisure centre.
Some of the schools are coaching children over there, and it's half a day's job. You know, time you get the children on a bus over there, all this lot, when before you could do it in like a couple hours, you know.
With no swimming pool within a 25-mile radius of Falmouth, it has been rumoured that now around 40% of children in Falmouth can't swim. Having raised over £2,500 with his crowdfunder, he hopes this money can help with the initial planning costs for a new pool.
There's a few people out in the world that got a lot of money, rightly or wrongly, and if we can get a little bit of their money all add together, it may get us over the line to get the money required to do the pool. I don't think we can rely on the government for 100% of it, but who knows? We've got to give it a go. They want to reconfigure the pool within the existing building so it can be turned into a 25-metre pool. It's a mammoth task, and we're talking, I've heard a rumour of 20 million, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's just colossal money.
Over the next 2 weeks, Alan is hoping to complete his swim of the English Channel and to continue to raise money in hopes that one day a new pool will open for the locals in Falmouth.
Here at Falmouth University, students have become really upset about the use of AI, so much so that they've launched a petition to ban it. They feel it's ruining creativity and that people will lose jobs over it. I wanted to find out what the rest of the students here thought about this petition. It seems that most are behind it.
I think it's a really good student initiative, like taking their own drive to sort out a problem that is going on with the uni.
And what do you think about it?
I think there's a time and a place for it, but people need to be educated in the right way of like the environmental impacts it's having, especially because Falmouth is meant to be like an eco-friendly uni. We need to have the right information and sources to know like the effects of it.
I think it's a split issue because obviously AI is not, I don't agree with it at all, but I do think in the creative industries now is a massive part of that world. AI is used day to day there. And so, you know, I do think they're trying their best in educating us on, you know, the future of the industry. But yeah, it's a tricky one because it's obviously not, I don't agree with it, and I don't think it takes away from the creativity, but it is also setting us up to learn about it because it is now part of our world.
I think AI is a double-edged sword, especially for us. We do advertising. It's great for ideation, but it's not good for final product. And I think there needs to be a lot of boundaries around AI, especially within the creative industries, because it can definitely it's definitely a threat to our careers, but it also is a tool. But I don't like AI. I'd rather it not be a thing. As our lecturer says, if he could mock up generative AI and throw it in the sea, he would. But because the world is adapting to it and it's taking over everything, we have to learn, because it would be putting us at a disadvantage when we go into the industry. However, I do think it kills creativity, and it is really sad, and I'm happy there's a petition going on. I was really happy to see it because it felt a bit normalised for a while. Like, our course is really integrating it into our like learning and stuff, and sometimes it's too much. Sometimes we need boundaries with it.
I agree with it. I don't think generative AI should be used on campus because I think it takes away people's creativity and like critical thinking skills and research skills. I think it's unethical.
Really good idea, because I personally find that AI kind of ruins the creative process by handing it over to a machine that doesn't have the kind of passion that humans have when it comes to creating.
And here in the studio now we have James Branch, who is a senior lecturer from Falmouth's advertising department, to discuss the use of AI in his industry. Hi James, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
So is AI widely used in advertising?
Yeah, I think it's having a huge impact on the creative industries, and the advertising industry is no different. I think it's reshaping roles, reshaping how people work and how adverts are created and produced. An example that I thought of was the recent Google Pixel 9 mobile phone campaign by an agency called Monks, and I believe all of the assets in the campaign were developed by generative AI.
Nice. And do you think people in the industry are sort of worried about the use of AI, or do you think they sort of embrace it and take it in their stride?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty divisive issue in the industry. I think on the negative side, it's definitely probably putting downward pressure on wages in certain roles, almost certainly having an impact on entry-level jobs. And yeah, zooming out, there are of course significant concerns around labour theft, copyright issues, and the environmental impact of sort of training and using these models.
No, absolutely. And do you, as obviously a creative, do you sort of enjoy using AI? Do you think it's a powerful tool for yourself, or do you kind of want to stray away from it?
As a lecturer, it's a tool that I do use, and I've sort of observing what's going on in the industry. I've seen how AI can sort of really lower barriers to entry for like quite difficult technical and production work that was previously out of reach for a lot of people. So it can kind of be quite democratizing in that sense. Something called vibe coding enables you to create apps and webs with no coding experience quite quickly. It can also like really speed up workflows, especially in the creative industries. There's a lot of work that's quite laborious and mundane, and you can get through that much faster and much more efficiently with AI supporting you. So, yeah.
Great. No, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
My pleasure.
You're listening to The Mouth.
Every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.
Stay tuned, coming up soon in our show today. A big push to buy local. Lots of Christmas markets here in Cornwall are coming up.
Everybody's from Cornwall, so you know you truly are supporting local artists, local makers, and it's just that community. Let's pull together when times are tough.
Chilly times in Falmouth, but how are gardens doing? We have a special report with a local expert.
So the new project down at the Lodge, which is quite a detailed project which we can talk about as well.
Now on to football. The return from injury of Truro City's star player gives hope that the team could escape relegation.
You're listening to The Mouth.
As we start thinking gifts for our loved ones at Christmas, those working on Christmas markets in Cornwall are asking for us to think about visiting. Our reporter, Charlie Lee, has more.
As Christmas comes flying around the corner, more and more Christmas markets are popping up all around Cornwall. We got the chance to speak to Sinead O'Connor, who is a jeweller and one of the organisers of Artisan Markets Cornwall, who is pushing for people to shop local this Christmas and appreciate the markets around them.
There's lots of conversations going on about where do you work, how do you do it. So there's a real focus because of all the Temu and because of people suddenly wanting to know that it is actually made by hand. Someone has made it. They can talk to you. They can talk to the maker. We find that people are really interested in that and they really want to support local small businesses. People are appreciating that it's all handmade. Everybody's from Cornwall, so you know you truly are supporting local artists, local makers, and it's just that community. Let's pull together when times are tough.
Although Christmas markets might be a highlight for some people when trying to find unique gifts, there's a reason why they're becoming a lot more sparse nowadays.
We get no external funding at all. It is just us that organise it. We run it. We sometimes get a panel to help choose the people because we know so many ceramicists at this stage and so many artists that we can't give a space to everybody because otherwise nobody makes any money. So we get people who help us in ways like that, but we get absolutely no funding. We are just doing this as makers ourselves to try and help other makers.
But it seems that people's tunes are changing when it comes to wanting to shop locally.
I think with the markets, most people are down from last year, which we expect. As one of the traders said to me, the difference is if you come to a market like ours, where everything is handmade, it's like going into a Gucci shop and looking at it and going, oh, I could get that cheaper in Primark. Because of how people are feeling, markets that are genuinely local, small businesses where people make things and they can talk to the makers themselves, I think that's going to really blossom, because then people know that it isn't being AI made. They're getting what they look at, they're talking to the person who makes it. We make everything by hand, we make sure it's good quality. You're supporting local people rather than it going to some faceless billionaire who doesn't care about the community or the people who make the stuff.
Let's head outdoors now. As we enter a new season in Falmouth, many people prepare for the changing weather and times. Scarlett Jeffries spoke to Jules Kay, head gardener of Kimberley Park, on how he prepares the park for the upcoming events.
Hello, I'm Julian Kay, and I'm the park keeper, head gardener here at Kimberley Park. My job has really sort of turned into quite a community job as well, not just the horticulture and the gardening side of things. I sort of interact with the community. So it's maintaining the park, maintaining the displays for the park for the summer bedding. So we've been taking care of that and keeping things ship-shape. And we've also got Park Live as well, which is the concert, the festival that goes out at the end of the month, last Sunday of the month, from April through to September. So the new project down at the Lodge, which is quite a detailed project, which we can talk about as well.
How long has that project been going on for?
Interesting one. I mean, the seeds for the whole project were sown quite some time ago. It was to update the lodge, which was effectively the park keeper's lodge as it was known, to open up that to the community. So with a lot of planning and strategy and everything that's gone into it, and hard work as well. We now have a cafe and a radio community station, Radio Source FM, which also has a studio as well, recording studio. Yeah. I think you've really got to, because it's a project it's been, as I say, it's come to fruition now, and you've really got to see that work. So we'll tie lots of events in. We'll streamline it with Park Live in the summer, and live performances and interviews, and using the radio station as a tool to communicate with the community, really.
With the Park Live, how do you yourself get involved with that?
Park Live, I kind of co-created Park Live with my partner Simon Neild, who is a main player with Source FM. We devised Park Live, started in 2013 now, I think it was. Came off the back of, if I can briefly put this into a small short story. Well, no, it's quite detailed. We supplied music for the Kimberley Park, the community project, which was raising funds at the time for the new play area, the Kimberley Park Association, to give it its full title. And the story goes there is that we saw an opportunity for suddenly to realise, because we'd been through quite a period when we were sort of updating the park, so we got the security, the fencing, all the sort of thing working again. There was talks of a little cafe coming, and the play area, the financing through lottery funding and match funding was coming through, with a lot of support and growth from the Kimberley Park Association. That was their model. So anyway, Park Live came off the back of that, when we realised that we could possibly do music at the park. We now do Park Live at the end of each month, last Sunday of each month, from April through to September, and it's been working amazingly well since then. So
when you first came up with the idea, what was the name?
The idea, it came off the back of basically some players, some musicians playing in the front of a cafe, the original cafe, and we put it to Falmouth Town Council and said, well, I think we can develop this, and it's grown from that. So Park Live has been going through, since 2013, And so we're talking to you now, I'm looking up onto the wall here with a few posters, and there's a few famous people up there. There's Angeline Morrison is up there, who's now very established in the folk acoustic singer-songwriter world.
Our local football team, Truro City, are competing this year at the very highest level a team from Cornwall has ever done. But this level of competition has proven challenging, and they're now threatened with relegation. However, there are high hopes. Star player Tyler Harvey has made a long-awaited return from injury. Dominic Frolick reports.
It probably will be a place.
On the 8th of November, Truro City continued their first ever season in the National League with a match against Altrincham, following a historic campaign in the 24-25 season, which saw them promoted from the 6th tier of English football as champions. Our reporter Dominic Frolick attended the game on behalf of the Mouth. Tyler Harvey, who is widely regarded as the club's best player, has been injured for much of this season, which has plagued the team's efforts in front of goal. Truro lined up in a 5-3-2 formation, with Lavacombe in goal, Bell, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Sanders, Law and Riley Lowe in defence, Dean, Rooney and Hassani making up the midfield three, and Johnson, Fisher and Pike in attack. A sellout crowd of 3,184 fans attended the match, including 146 away fans, who made the 318-mile journey from Cheshire. The first half was a rather cagey affair, with both sides playing to avoid defeat rather than going for the win. The home supporters were in good voice. Truro defended bravely but conceded a great many corners, which put them under immense pressure as Altrincham have a great deal of height in their team. Some questionable calls from referee Emily Heelslip also did not help their fortunes. In the second half, Truro faced wave after wave of attacks and were rescued on numerous occasions by some solid goalkeeping from Lavacombe or by the wastefulness of the opposition. Tyler Harvey was brought on with 11 minutes to go, to much adoration from the home crowd. Altrincham finally broke the deadlock in the 81st minute after a loose ball bounced out of the Truro penalty box and was returned with interest, courtesy of substitute Keaton Ward. A sublime strike from 25 yards out left Lavacombe with no chance. With time running out, Harvey looked lively and tried his best to bring Truro City level with two late chances he created for himself, and was unlucky not to score. The match finished, Truro City 0, Altrincham 1. Come along tomorrow to support Truro City. They take on Sutton United at 3 p.m.
And now for the weather. Today will be dry and bright with lots of sunshine and a few patches of shade. The temperature will stay around 8 degrees, dropping slightly at 5 p.m, with rain and winds overnight.
The surf report for Falmouth and the surrounding areas is poor, with 2 to 3 foot waves. It's chilly too, so good luck to all those surfers getting in the sea. Hope you've got your thick wetsuits out with socks and hoods.
Now for what's on in Falmouth. Kicking off the Christmas spirit, Cornwall's Winter Wonderland is now open.
Head down to Mila for their festive Christmas market tomorrow.
And if you want some live music, get yourself to Helston, where there's a folk night tomorrow.
And don't forget to tune in next week when we'll bring more stories from our talented team.
You're listening to The Mouth.
Every Friday on Source FM. You're listening to The Mouth.